I'm really excited to share this next piece of instructional strategies with you. We're going to look at wait time extended, and the interaction sequence. I just see a lot of benefits in this particular piece right here. We're going to start off with wait time. That's just is exactly what it says. The amount of time you give a student to think after asking a question. We should be giving students between 3 and 5 seconds before we call on them. In reality, it's actually less than 1 second that this happens. So, the more time we give students to think, the longer time we give students to think, the more they can organize their thoughts and be able to come up with a reasonable answer. So I really encourage you to give that wait time so students are able to be successful. So as we move on from that wait time, it's that wait time extended. So now I'm going to add a piece to this. I'm going to ask the question of the whole class. I'm going to pause for 3 to 5 seconds to give some think time for each individual student. Then I'm going to put the class on the clock. I'm going to say, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to share with partner about what you feel about responding to that question. And then next step is I'm going to have students share their thoughts in pairs or groups. So they're going to talk back and forth. And then finally, they're going to give a response. So it might sound a little bit like this. It might ask the question, class, what do you think the sum of 22 plus 24 is? Then I'm going to pause for 3 to 5 seconds. And then I'm going to say, you have 30 seconds to discuss this with a partner. I'm going to call on somebody. Kelsey, how many seconds do you have? And I'm going to call on somebody else. Billy, what are you going to be discussing? After we get those responses, then I'm going to give them that 30 seconds to be able to respond to that. So that time, the 30 seconds is up. They'll share back with me about what their answer was. Here's the piece that I really, really like. The interaction sequence. So now the teacher can get involved with what is actually going on. So we're going to do the same type of process. We're going to allow them to pair share. We're going to put them on the clock. But then once they start sharing, I, as a teacher, I'm going to jump in to 1 or 2 groups, and I'm going to coach them up. I'm going to make sure they have the right answer, whatever I need to do for them to be successful. So after we get done with the 30 seconds, I'm going to call on that group that I did an interview with, or that second group that I did an interview with. And then they're going to share back with me the correct answer because I was able to coach them up on that. And then after I get the response from the groups that I interviewed, then I'm going to go on and going to call on another group, just randomly, whoever it might be. And then finally, I'm going to go ahead and ask for anybody to volunteer. And so those students that raise their hand and want to share, I'm going to do that. But I'm really excited about this piece because it allows us to assess students, what they're thinking on those targets that we're teaching. So this is such a great piece.